Welcome to this, another highly questionable gathering. Bomani, what do you like on the show today?
We're going to talk about Rick Pitino and a Fat Joey interview that will run longer than 15 seconds.
Dale, papi.
Are people too quick to say the Cubs are back in control?
A flimsy straw man erected by the producers of this television show because it's hard to talk about a 10-2 game that wasn't very interesting, and they took away the importance of the Adrian Gonzalez instant replay slide by virtue of winning by 8 runs. But are they in control? Nobody's saying they're in control because they're the Cubs, and they still got to face Rich Hill and Clayton Kershaw. They've got no batting average against those two guys in this series. They've actually hit pretty well against everyone else, but they still got to go through those two guys.
Yeah, on Around the Horror, Bill Plaschke made his famous declaration that this series was over. His argument was they got Kershaw in one start, and then all they've got to do is win another. That doesn't sound like control to me. The series is 2-2. Nobody has control when it's 2-2.
That's right.
The Cubs in control in the playoff?
Right, I mean, yeah.
Don't they know that they're chokers? Come on.
Well, it's not fair to call them playoff chokers. They normally don't go.
Yeah.
Did Andrew Miller deserve to be the ALCS MVP who are only playing 7 2/3 innings?
It's worth noting he pitched for 7 2/3 innings. He had 14 strikeouts in those 7 2/3 innings. And this is what happens in a series where you look around for an MVP and everybody's like, I don't really know what to do here. Interesting note about Andrew Miller. In the postseason, Andrew Miller's got a win probability added of .83. Most starting pitchers can't rack that up through an entire regular season. That's how good he's been. Hey, somebody had to win it. The guy that's striking out 2 guys an inning more or less is a good choice.
But this is the who the hell else are we going to give it to award. Keep in mind, the Cleveland Indians hit 168 for the entire series. They just won a playoff series in 5 games where their batting average was $168, so you can't give it to anyone. On offense, their starting pitchers are hurt, so where do you go? That bullpen, which is crazy good, everyone who comes out of it throws 95 miles an hour with movement, and he was doing that better than any of them.
Should the Giants cut Josh Brown now that he has admitted domestic violence?
This story makes me so uncomfortable in so many different ways because we're rummaging through this man's journal, through his therapy, and he's sitting here being really unforgiving of himself, but he's not a very good victim in this circumstance, even as he's talking about his abuse against women comes from his own suffered child abuse. I don't know what you do in these situations, and it's why I'm uncomfortable with football being in charge of these situations because he's a totally disposable player in a climate where you cannot tolerate this stuff, and I don't know how you tolerate it from anybody, never mind a disposable kicker.
You cut him. Like, there's no dispute here. You cut him. The question, though, that we have is not so much why is he still on the Giants as much as how did the NFL decide that this was a 1-game suspension when they start with the baseline of 6? If they had these crack investigators that follow college kids around on campus and talk to all their ex-girlfriends to get all in their business, how is it that they couldn't get this stuff out of court documents? Like, they said they did an investigation, and they said they really care about this, and they said it's really important to them, and a kicker got a 1-game suspension, and he showed up to work today, and guess what? He'll probably play on Sunday.
But
how?
The Giants aren't the only one who's guilty here. Keep in mind the noise we've made over the last couple of weeks about what Odell Beckham has done as a Giant and compare it to what this guy is accused of and how little noise we've made about that by comparison. They're not the only ones that are guilty here.
Does Aaron Rodgers have a lot riding on tonight's game?
Every game is going to be a referendum on Aaron Rodgers, though it's worth noting we're only making these referenda after he's had about a season and a half of bad play. But they play the Bears tonight. It is on national television. Everybody's got a lot riding when they're playing on national television because I don't care who you are. You stink it up on national television, we are going to be all over you. But to me, it's not so much how much does Aaron Rodgers have riding. Mike McCarthy, how much do you have riding on this? Because if one of y'all's got to go, it ain't going to be number 12.
They've got a lot of people hurt, and this guy hasn't looked right for a year and a half. Keep in mind, last year was the worst season any of us have ever seen him have, and he's been worse this season. I heard an interesting theory, you might be skeptical of it, called into the Zolak show. Scott Zolak has a radio show, and the theory was the idea that Aaron Rodgers hasn't been the same since they went through Deflategate and started changing the pressure of the footballs. He liked them overinflated. did. You might think it's cockamamie, but I don't have a good explanation for the Aaron Rodgers that I've seen for a year and a half. That one will do.
Here's the problem with that theory. Somehow Tom Brady looks the same after they change all this, but it's Aaron Rodgers who can't deal with the rules. That's the story coming out of Boston. You bought that.
He liked
you
it.
Bought that.
He liked it. He liked it
bought
heavier.
that.
Aaron Rodgers was talking about liking it heavier.
These same NFL investigators we were just talking about a minute ago.
You explain to me why Aaron Rodgers has been bad, because I don't have a good theory, but that one's not as awful as the others.
Can't believe you are my son. Are you going to buy that as an excuse?
Fair enough.
Huh?
Fair enough.
You want to call Ted Wells too?
Okay.
another type of
Yes,
analysis?
I'll do anything to defend Aaron Rodgers. I'll hire Ted Wells myself to explain to me that the league is conspiring against him.
Did the NCAA let Rick Pitino and Louisville off too easy?
All right, they might not have let Rick Pitino off. There's still a chance he might wind up suffering some form of punishment, but Louisville will not get any additional sanctions from that whole thing where they had the hooker shaking it in the door. Now, as for Louisville, what I found to be most interesting in the NCAA paperwork is it's still the NCAA. They got dollar amounts next to everything, including the stuff that was going on in the dormitory. Is Louisville getting off easy? I mean, what kind of punishment exactly are you looking for under these circumstances? Rick Pitino is ultimately going to be the one to pay, and none of his indignation is going to get him out of that.
I would say that almost universally, I am uncomfortable with the NCAA dispensing criticism, dispensing punishments, when the very institution is an act or feels like an act of immorality. So start there on this. But when you're trying to govern something like hookers and prostitutes, and you're sitting here and you're punishing future players and you're punishing a bunch of different people for these kinds of crimes that aren't really crimes anywhere outside of this particular umbrella, I'll be fine with whatever happens to Pitino, but I don't want this institution suffering any more than the national shame that has already befallen it.
Was he involved in another motorcycle accident?
No, that's
He
Pitino.
confuses,
That's
he
Pitino.
confuses
That's
the
the
scandals
other
at
Louisville
Louisville.
coach.
They got two of them.
Yeah.
One of them's on a motorcycle. The other
Yeah.
hookers, motorcycle,
It's very confusing.
lies.
Pitino's the one with the restaurant.
Oh, okay, with the
Yeah,
restaurant.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Coming up next on my son's TV show, we talk to Fat Joe.
Out of nowhere, you hear one little voice out of nowhere go, "Hey, yo, Pun. Hey, yo, Pun. Yo, Joe. These dudes over here." I'm like, so I turn around. It's Iron Mike Tyson.
Joining us at the beach today is Fat Joe.
Enjoyed talking to him. Colorful stories all the way up. You can get it now. Let's get it all the way turned up. Did I just do that?
Oh, my God.
Joe, there was a time the Terror Squad was kind of running Rucker Park. You had Marbury out there playing. Give us one of your best Rucker Park stories.
My best Rucker Park story was we were going up against Murder Inc. And they were supposed to bring Kobe Bryant out. They brought Baron Davis. Who else they brought? They brought like 3 NBA players. And I brought Stephon Marbury. I brought Allen Iverson. I brought Sean Marion. I brought Al Harrington. And I brought Jermaine O'Neal. Same game. And, I mean, you know, they really bluffed me. You know what I mean? So I came out there with the guns. The park was electrifying. And what was crazy is we had Steph and AI in the same backcourt, which was like, forget about it at the time, you know? And so the way these kids get their name in the Rucker Park is you challenge whoever the NBA player dares, the NBA player superstar comes into the park, whatever street ball player challenges him, defends him, and scores on him. That's how they become legends in the hood. Yo, I dropped 50 on Vince Carter. I dropped 30 on Kobe. this. The only NBA player that I've ever seen go into a street park ever in life that was never contested, even defended. Nobody ever wanted to get crossover and had the easiest time was Allen Iverson. Everybody was so scared to defend this guy. They would drop so back. It was like he had nobody defending him. Nobody want to check AI. Nobody want to get crossed over.
Isn't there a memorable story involving you, Big Pun, and Mike Tyson?
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's not an easy one, but that's not a fast one. Well, one night we had a show in Jersey, and the clubs closed early in Jersey. So we want to go to this legendary club in Manhattan. It's called The Tunnel. Now, The Tunnel was like people get shot, stabbed every week. Like, you got to be out of your mind to go there, and we still would go, right? So we go to The Tunnel. Long story short, it's just me and Pun. So the security in The Tunnel, there's these guys. The Tunnel was like gladiator school. So they had guys 7 foot tall, cock diesel, 300 brolic, like monsters, right, that would be at the door. So they're telling Pun to take off his Timberland boots because they want to search his boots to see if he got a gun or a knife in there. So Pun is like, big Pun, I'm double platinum, I'm a superstar, I'm not taking off my boots. So he starts arguing with one of the bouncers. So they're going back and forth. F your mother. No, your mother, your mother. So I turn around, no, your mother. You know, and we start going back and forth, right? So now I'm like, yo, Pun, just chill. So it's like 3 in the morning. And Pun is like, no, your mother. And the Pun knows how to really irritate somebody. So next thing you know, it's 2 bouncers. No, your mother. Then it turns into 3, 4, 5, 6 bouncers. No, mother. So now they're like, 6 out of the 10 bouncers look like they're ready to fight. So Pun is like, yo, man, I go to my trunk. I did, you know, whatever. I said, so I go to Pun. You know, my brother. We're going to fight all of them. But I'm like, yo, Pun, we're going to get our whipped. But not bad, like really bad. Like terribly in here, bro. I don't care, your mother, this and that. So I'm realizing, oh, we're going to have to fight these guys. Like this just, he's not going to let it go. We're going to fight these guys. These guys are like literally monsters, steroid freaks, right? So boom, now it's 8 out of the 10. This guys. So I'm like, yo, Pun. So I'm like, so we going back. Out of nowhere, you hear one little voice out of nowhere go, hey, yo, Pun. Hey, yo, Pun. Yo, Joe. These dudes over here. I'm like, so I turn around. It's Iron Mike Tyson with the kufi on. He just came out of jail like 2 weeks ago. So he got a suit on with the kufi, just came out of jail. I'm like, oh my God, it's Iron Mike. Pun's like, yeah, that's what yeah, Pun, you right. I'm like, so Mike Tyson's taking off these penny loafers. Like he got like these Gucci loafers. He's taking them off. He's in his socks now. So I'm like, oh my God, like this is like one of them Geico commercials. They be like, Mike Tyson, like, you know, you could just dream of Mike Tyson, right? So next thing you know, the bouncers go outside, we go outside. Mike Tyson starts chasing the main bouncer around the car. Oh, the main guy who wanted to beat up Pun, 7 foot cock diesel, come here. He's running. He winds up telling me, yo, Pun, yo, Joe, please, tell him to stop. Yo, Pun, yo, Joe, tell him to stop, please. Yo, Pun, I'm gonna kill you. Tyson's chasing him. Nobody's helping the guy. So Tyson leaves him alone, and then we just go on. I mean, like, that was just crazy, man. I mean, you know.
Yeah, that's one way to describe it. Go ahead, Bobby. What do you got for Fast
Yes, Joe, what is the craziest fight you have seen at the Rucker Park?
Oh, Rucker Park fight.
The craziest fight? I've never really seen, like, big fights, Bobby. I've seen, like, heckling. Like, my wife, she hates coming because we got some of the worst hecklers you ever seen in your life. They say the nastiest things in the world, but it's basketball. I try to explain to her, this is basketball, mommy. This is, you know, they get in your face, they talk all type of junk, but it's just basketball. But, you know, I've never really actually seen fights at the park.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. If somebody says anything bad about my wife, I'll kick his.
That's right.
That's right, buddy.
That's right, Fat Joe. So tell him, warn him at Rucker Park, all right? Poppy's coming
I'll tell him, Poppy, come over there and beat him up.
All right.
Thank you for being on with us, sir. We appreciate it.
Gracias.
All right, guys.
With so much drama in the LBC, it's kind of hard being a Snoop D-O double G. But I somehow, some way keep coming up with funky like every single day. May I kick a little something for the G's? Yeah. And make a few ensas. Yeah. I breeze through 2 in the morning and the party's still jumping cause my mama ain't home. Rolling down the street, smoking Indus, sipping on gin and juice. Laid back with my mind on my money and my money on my mind. Happy birthday, Snoop Dogg. Highly questionable is broadcast from the Clevelander Hotel on beautiful South Beach, Miami. Time to play the game that is still wearing last night's clothes. Do you question?
You give us topics and events. We question them.
Do you question this fans' commitment to the game?
Knicks and Celtics. We're not going to talk about Derrick Rose and the exoneration and him taking pictures with jury members because that's a little heavy, and we're just going to go to preseason basketball and make fun of somebody, I imagine.
Way to make that awkward, buddy.
Porzingis takes center stage, and he delivered. Give me the first half.
When you say 16 points and a half, that's not bad. Now, he and the bench came in with 31, but Porzingis has just been.
I wish I could see his left hand because I feel like he might have a wife who is absolutely mortified right now watching this. I wish Hubie would have turned around and seen that. I can imagine the lecture that Hubie would have given him. Like, what are you doing, clown?
Oh, my God. That is super unpleasant, but I think got the desired result, which is what is happening right now here.
Hold on, run that back, though. Something else that's very interesting here is this lady in the green shirt who notices that there's a chance to get on camera. See that guy right there? He does, too. They both come in to wave, and little do they know that their magic moment has been besmirched by this phony, rabid clown sitting behind Hubie Brown.
Bomani's got this right. Look at the potato chip guy. Like he's all about this, but he didn't come up with the beer idea, so he does the fake eating of the chips to the nose.
Yeah, and bootleg Mac Damon. I don't really understand what he's doing right there with the hand over his mouth. Like, what's the point there? Is he some kind of in Matt Damon from up there? He's some kind of can of Matt Damon?
I'll tell you what bootleg Matt Damon has done. Let himself go.
So in essence, somebody's paying attention to Hubie Brown and the other guy. Everybody's paying attention to the other guys behind them.
That's right.
That's right. You see, Hubie? That's it. You're no good anymore.
Oh, wow.
You lost your touch.
My father just wanted a chance to go after Hubie Brown. He's still bitter about those Heat years.
You think that drooling dude could break down a defense like Hubie? Huh? Eh.
Do you question Phil's fitness?
Assuming this is Phil Mickelson, to which the answer is, duh. Either that or he can start washing his shirts in cold water. Oh, it's not Phil Mickelson.
Oh!
Oh my God, Phil!
Ow,
what the frick did you
Phil!
Wow.
What just happened there?
Oh.
Ow!
Does Phil live in that neighborhood, by the way?
What just happened?
Do you understand my shock, by the way, expecting to see Phil Mickelson, and that's what I got is that kid standing right in front of the camera? Do you think that kid knows who Phil Mickelson is?
Oh my God, Phil! What the frick did you just do?
Why is Phil hanging?
Hold on. Can we analyze several? First of all, hold on. Let's go right back to the beginning. First, does Phil lose a shoe at the beginning of this? And then it goes downhill from there? That is a shoe that he's lost.
Yes. Oh,
Oh my
goodness,
God,
that.
Phil! What the frick did you just do?
Why hasn't anybody explained what Phil is doing there?
I think that I know what Phil would look like if he would have tried parkour.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Remember this one?
I don't remember that. Oh, no! But what is that?
What was his end game anyway?
Come on, man.
Right? Like, it's not like he tried to, land on his feet.
Time to play the game whose favorite son is David. See or no?
Tell us what to watch on television tonight. Oh, look, he's amused by that. My brother's name is David. We tell you if we're intrigued or not.
On Fox Sports Florida, Capitals and Panthers.
Oh, the Panthers are good. The Panthers are expensive. This might be the best Panthers team ever. What happened? Why are you making faces like that? Okay, very good. We're going to go out Colorado. We're going to go out Colorado on the Capitals. Matt Duchene is going to take a hit here. It's very unpleasant. Look at this here. Aye, that's like a wrestling move right there. You rarely see that anymore. That is true. I've not seen that in a long time. Probably because I haven't been watching hockey in a long time. Bomani, are you intrigued?
Wait, is that a regular season game? Like, how's the ice even staying frozen? Like, wasn't that game in Miami? It's
No.
like 85 degrees outside.
No, that's Colorado and Washington, I think, but it doesn't matter. Whatever. Bomani wasn't very interested in this question. You can see it on his face, right?
But back to, that's a regular season game?
Yes, that's correct. The season has started. Poppy, are you intrigued?
Oh, see, I'm very intrigued because I'm telling you something. Matt Duchene is out to get somebody out of that game. After that hit, he's out for vengeance, you know? He said, well, I'm going to hit somebody, so you better be careful because he's a man on a mission. Matt Duchene, a name that you'll never forget. Mean dude.
And he's the guy that got hit?
A man on a mission.
You said that already, and you said vengeance wrong, and he's not even in this game.
Vengeance.
We're talking about.
What team does he play in? Do you
He
remember?
plays for Colorado.
Oh,
Plays for
Colorado,
the
okay.
Avalanche. They're not in this game.
Forget it then.
Okay, never mind.
Never mind.
Very good. Good analysis by all of us.
On ESPN, BYU at number 14, Boise State.
BYU is going to do something dirty tonight. Why? Why do I know that? Because I'm an expert prognosticator? No, because they're always doing dirty stuff, and chances are good they do something dirty. Let's check in with the blue field, though, and a golfer who did something on it.
Let's just go ahead and commit to it right now that you're not doing that. Hey! Never a
Wow,
doubt.
that's pretty impressive.
You wanna
I
do it from
salute the
further?
holder as well, though. That seems unsafe.
Yeah,
I
that's
wouldn't
my
have
advice
guessed that that would be
Yeah,
safe.
hit it hard and hit it low.
45 yards?
The hold was good. Oh! You might have a future. That's really nice.
Bomani, are you intrigued?
He hits a football better than I hit a golf ball. I don't know how to feel about that. I do know how to feel about that. How I feel about everybody that's better at golf than me. I hate you.
Yeah, infuriated is how you should feel. Poppy, are you intrigued?
Oh, see, I'm very intrigued. But listen, that's not a big deal. Anybody can hit that football with a golf club. Look at the size of the football. This thing is like a watermelon. How you going to miss it, you know? I mean, that's it. It doesn't matter whether you get to the other side where the goal post is. You just hit the football. Let it rip. That's it.
Let it rip. Okay.
That's all the time we have for today. Thank you for watching.
We'll catch you for the end of the week tomorrow. Thanks for watching.
Gracias. See you mañana.
What does BYU stand for? Do you know what BYU stands for?
BYU. Birmingham University. No? Huh?
Not sure how much farther you get from BYU than Birmingham.